Okay, everyone, nice to meet you again. And this is also part of what we're doing at Large Academy. Today, I'm going to talk about something interesting. And a lot of people, this is going to be important in the terms of their growth in their NHS career. And that's called something I called the RAT system. So, in the NHS system, there are a couple of things that are fundamental and very important. And the first is evidence of research. In terms of growth, especially as you grow towards a consultant post, you need to be able to demonstrate things across the RAT. A is for audit or better clinical audit. And then finally, T is for teaching. Now, this has been something that a lot of people have found very challenging. And I've been lucky and fortunate to have had experience across research, audit, teaching. And this, for instance, I've published several papers hosted on PubMed, as well as presented in conferences across the world in the UK, in the US, and other places. I've also extensively taught across several medical schools in the UK, notably the University of Edinburgh Medical School, University of Central Lancashire Medical School, Aston University Medical School, Queen Mary University of London. I've also taught at Aberdeen University, and I've also taught across the NHS. I've also led programs for physician associates. And so I have extensive teaching experience. I've also taught postgraduate level in medical education at the University of South Wales. So I do have experience across these areas, and I've also carried out audits successfully across the trust that I've worked in. So I want to share some of that knowledge with you guys. So we've, based on popular demand, created a course specifically this time tackling the very first part, and that's the R, research. So the research part is probably the most lengthy and, in my experience, what people find the most difficult. And we've created this about 8 to 10 part course. And the very first thing we will deal with in this course series, which would be over 2 to 4 hours, is one, developing a research question. Yeah, so we're going to go through the process of developing a research question, the necessary hypothesis for people that are new to research, and just sort of the research design and framework, and understanding things like ethical clearance and researches that do not need ethical clearance. And we'll look at some of the guidelines that does exist for the different types of research that's been done as per the prism of research. Now, very essentially is a deep and thorough understanding of literature review that supports the research question that's been asked. So we'll go through that, and so that people coming in to work with us would understand literature review as well as referencing of the facts that's important in the research they are writing about in terms of trying to answer the research questions that they put up. Now, beyond that, whenever you do, as most people are aware, when you do a literature review, it's important to be able to critically appraise the literature, which is really looking at the quality of the research that's been done that you're using to inform and answer the research question that you have. And that's why in this course we're going to teach you critical appraisal of literature. Now, furthermore, we will guide you specifically on how to conduct, the research you want to do. So whether, is a prospective or retrospective, whether it's experimental or non-experimental. It all depends on what it is you're doing, whether you are doing a randomized control trial or you're doing a cohort study, or you're doing a case control trial, or you're just doing an analysis of data, and whether you're doing a systematic review. In this course, we will go through each of the steps and the very fundamentals so that you're able to carry out these yourself. Now, for a few people, you may need to write a proposal. So proposal could come at the very top, but for convenience in this introductory video, I put it here. So we'll go through research proposal writing. And this is important because you need this in, for instance, if you're applying for a training post, certain jobs, applying for a PhD, or as part of your training number at some point as you progress your career in the NHS. So with that said, like I've said before, we would also teach you systematic review and meta-analysis, the basics. We have a whole team with people that have expertise in the various areas of these. When you want to publish your research, would also cover posters and how to present them, the basics, and go through things like how to display abstract writing and authorship. And we go through the publishing, how to publish your work, choosing the right journals, how to respond to editors, editors in chief, and when someone qualifies for an author, and when someone qualifies more of a contributor. Finally, we would round up with conference presentation skills, how you express your research, in an academic, scientific conference, so plan, reason, all of that. So we're really excited to start our RAT development conferences to support people towards the growth of their career. So that's research, audit, and teaching. And each of these trainings are worth £300, but we've significantly subsidized them to 80%. And so it comes to about 20 quid. Between 150 to 20 quid is the current charge of the teaching, the training, and we'll cover all of this. So I really look forward to interacting with you and supporting you with your growth in the NHS, and also of course with the other team that would be teaching on the course. Thank you, and I look forward to seeing you.